On February 22nd, 1 year ago, Algerians took to the streets demanding change. What was particularly notable about these particular protests was the fact that Algerians from all levels of society, from civil society all the way to ordinary Algerians in the streets, who basically were fed up with Bouteflika and his government and wanted to see genuine reforms. They wanted to see a government that was from the people, for the people. Even though Bouteflika was the president for Algeria since 1999 for 20 years, he had very little say in the decisions of the country. The military has always had a hand in how the state of affairs are ruled in Algeria, and they handpick the civilian government. In the military coup in 1992, which prevented the Islamic Salvation from democratically running elections, the country descended into 10 years of violence.
لم يرضي بعض الأطراف الذين يزعجهم بأن يروا الجزائر آمنة ومستقرة، بل يريدون أن يعودوا بها إلى سنوات الألم وسنوات الجمر.
When the protests first broke out, the head of the army, Abdelmadjid Tebboune, basically threatened the people that if they continued to take to the streets, they would either see the same level of violence witnessed during the 90s, or they would see the same violence that was witnessed in Syria. So the Algerian regime has used the rhetoric of violence cleverly to dissuade people from using the street as a medium to voice their frustrations. And the current generation who were born after the independence war, who were born after the 90s, who didn't necessarily witness that type of depravity, that type of rhetoric simply isn't going to stand anymore, and it hasn't stood.
رئيس الجمهورية السيد عبدelaziz Bouteflika يبلغ اليوم رسمياً قرار إنهاء عهدته بصفته رئيساً للجمهورية.
After Bouteflika stepped down, the people quickly realized that they had one individual who was an obstacle to the goal of seeing a genuine democratic transition, and that was the military chief, Abdelmadjid Tebboune. Come December 12th, when people were supposed to go out and vote, it was no surprise then that many people chose the day to protest. They were setting alight electoral offices, destroying ballot boxes. This was pretty much a clear message that these elections were illegitimate for large swathes of the population.
جايتك بالتغير نحو بيون عودوا داروا بيون واحد اخر تنحوا كاع
Abdelmadjid Tebboune emerged victorious in the first round of elections with 58% of the vote, even though participation rate was extremely low, below 40%. Tebboune served under Bouteflika. He was appointed Prime Minister in 2017, and his tenure was cut short after 3 months because of his policies of separating the state from money. He basically robbed up the oligarchs close to Bouteflika the wrong way, but a lot of people saw through him as somebody who had served under Bouteflika, who had been part of the old system. Tebboune has attempted to adopt a number of appeasement measures, such as the release of nearly 10,000 prisoners. However, there are still political prisoners that are languishing in jail on trumped-up charges, some in solitary confinement for months now. Given the fact what's happening in neighbouring Libya and the security issues that Algerians are worried about, and the economy, those particular issues are going to be central to whatever happens in 2020.
أعلنت وسائل الإعلام الجزائرية وفاة رئيس الأركان الجزائرية أحمدجاد صالح رئيس الأركان إثر أزمة قلبية
والالتزام مع الحراك ومع الجزائريات والجزائريين هو أننا نمشي بسرعة نحو التغيير.
This will be a waiting game to see how much of the Hirak's demands will be met, if they will be met at all. What strategies the Hirak can now adopt apart from just mobilizing in the streets? Will there be representatives that can negotiate with the regime? These are questions that will remain to be answered, and only time will tell.